Every 34 seconds, a heart stops beating from a heart attack. That is the statistic. But what is truly frightening is not the number, it's who these people are. Many of them are not smokers or people who eat junk food all day. They are people who believe they are doing the right things for their heart. You wake up in the morning and avoid bacon because someone told you it clogs your arteries. You prepare breakfast. The box swears is healthy. You drink your fruit juice to get vitamins, and yet the biological reality inside your arteries tells a different story. That same breakfast is creating microfractures in your blood vessels. You are consuming silent poisons, foods that after age 60 act like sandpaper on your heart. Today, I am going to reveal 5 foods that are destroying your cardiovascular health. And I guarantee that number 1 is something you probably ate this very morning. I am Dr. Cesar Villarreal. I have spent years studying preventive medicine and metabolic health. I have seen too many hearts fail because of an excess of misinformation. My mission is to give you real science, unfiltered and free from the food industry's deceptions. If you value your health and want to reach 80 or 90 with a strong heart, subscribe to the channel. Leave me a comment below telling me which country you are watching from and how old you are. I want to know who I am helping today. Before we continue, remember that this video is purely educational. Always consult your doctor before making any changes to your diet or lifestyle. Your body is unique and requires personalized attention. Imagine your heart is the engine of a classic car. When the car is new, the hoses that carry the fuel are flexible. They are elastic, clean, and can handle a great deal of pressure. But as the car ages, those hoses change. At 60, your arteries no longer have the same elasticity they did at 20. Inside your blood vessels, there is a microscopic layer called the endothelium. It is like a Teflon coating that allows blood to flow smoothly. This endothelium produces nitric oxide, a molecule that relaxes and opens your arteries. But here is the danger. After 60, your body's ability to repair this Teflon coating declines. If you eat foods that inflame and scrape this lining, the Teflon breaks down. When it breaks, cholesterol and calcium accumulate in those cracks trying to repair the damage. That is exactly what forms the plaque that blocks your arteries and causes a heart attack. It is not natural fat that scrapes your endothelium. It is specific chemical compounds, hidden sugars, and oxidized fats. Foods that supermarkets have sold you as safe. That is why what comes next is so important for saving your life. We begin with something that seems harmless. Canned soups, packaged vegetable creams, and commercial bouillon cubes. They tell you they are light, low in calories, and perfect for a quick dinner. But they are time bombs for your blood pressure. Let me tell you about Don Roberto, a 64-year-old patient. Roberto had sky-high blood pressure and had no idea why. He had eliminated table salt completely. But every night he had a canned vegetable soup that claimed to be low in fat. I asked him to switch to homemade bone broth. Within 4 weeks, his blood pressure dropped to normal levels and his heart stopped overworking. Imagine connecting a fire hose to the old pipes in your house. The force of the water will burst the pipes. That is exactly what industrial sodium does inside your aging arteries. It pulls water into the bloodstream, increasing the volume and the pressure against your heart walls. A Harvard University study with thousands of older adults made it unmistakably clear. They found that frequent consumption of commercial soups and broths increased the risk of left ventricular hypertrophy. This means the heart muscle becomes thick and rigid from the effort of pumping against that pressure. This industrial sodium comes paired with monosodium glutamate and preservatives that inflame the endothelium. The solution is simple. Leave the cans and processed cubes on the supermarket shelf. Make your own bone broth at home with celery, carrot, onion, and sea salt. Homemade broth contains collagen and minerals that can help repair your blood vessels. But if you think sodium is bad, wait until you see what they sell you as healthy protein. Number 4 is one of the biggest dietary deceptions out there. Commercial turkey breast, low-fat ham, and chicken sausages. They have convinced you that swapping red meat for these pale cold cuts will save your heart. It is one of the worst lies in modern nutrition. Doña Carmen, 68 years old, came to the clinic with palpitations and fatigue. She had toast with light turkey breast every morning because she was told to avoid fat. What she did not know was that she was damaging her heart muscle. We removed the processed turkey and replaced it with freshly baked chicken breast. Her palpitations disappeared within a month and her energy came back completely. Imagine taking a fresh sponge and soaking it in a mixture of salt, nitrates, and chemicals. The sponge loses its shape and becomes rigid. That is what nitrites and advanced glycation end products in these cold cuts do to your body. These chemicals are used so that processed meat does not spoil on the shelf. A massive study from McMaster University, the PURE study, analyzed more than 134,000 people. They found that processed meat consumption is directly linked to a significantly higher risk of cardiovascular disease. It does not matter if the label says reduced in sodium. The industrial curing process alters the proteins in the meat, creating compounds that oxidize your cholesterol. If you want to protect your heart, you have to eat real meat. Buy a fresh chicken or turkey breast, bake it at home, and slice it yourself. That is clean protein your body recognizes and uses to keep your heart muscle strong. But processed protein is not the only problem. The next food destroys your arteries from the inside. Number 3 is in almost every kitchen: industrial vegetable seed oils. I am talking about canola oil, corn oil, soybean oil, and sunflower oil. They are sold with a small heart drawn on the label. Miguel, a 62-year-old man, cooked everything in canola oil. He believed olive oil was too strong and that butter would clog his arteries. His blood tests showed extremely high levels of C-reactive protein. His body was burning with systemic inflammation. He threw out the canola and started cooking with avocado oil. At his next checkup, his C-reactive protein dropped by half, and his joint pain improved dramatically. Using these industrial oils is like putting burnt oil in a race car engine. The engine will grind and eventually seize. These oils are extracted at high temperatures using chemical solvents like hexane. They are unstable and packed with highly oxidized omega-6 fatty acids. A reanalysis of the Sydney Diet Heart Study revealed important data. Researchers found that replacing saturated fats with vegetable oils rich in linoleic acid increased the risk of death from coronary disease. When you consume these oxidized oils, they are incorporated into your cell membranes. They make your cholesterol particles far more prone to oxidizing and sticking to arterial walls. Throw those clear plastic bottles in the trash. Switch to stable fats that have protected the human heart for thousands of years. Use extra virgin cold-pressed olive oil, avocado oil for cooking, or clarified butter known as ghee. These real fats extinguish inflammation. But how many of you are using these oils while drinking something supposedly full of vitamins? We have reached number 2. And this one hurts because we have been educated to believe in it. Commercial fruit juices packaged in cartons or plastic bottles. Even the smoothies from health stores that promise to detox your body. They're one of the fastest ways to destroy your metabolic health in your heart. Elena, 65 years old, drank a large glass of orange juice every morning. She thought she was strengthening her immune system, but her triglycerides were high and her doctor warned her about a fatty liver. She did not understand how she could have fatty liver if she did not drink alcohol. She switched the juice for whole oranges and mineral water. 6 months later, her triglycerides returned to normal and her liver healed completely. Drinking commercial fruit juice is like opening a fire hose in a small garden. The force of the water floods and destroys the plants. When you juice the fruit and remove the fiber, you are left with colored water loaded with liquid fructose. This fructose hits your liver at a speed that overwhelms your metabolism. A study from Emory University that followed more than 30,000 older adults was definitive. They found that daily consumption of sugary drinks, including natural fruit juices, increased the risk of dying from coronary disease. Your liver cannot process that much fructose all at once. It converts that excess sugar into triglycerides, a type of fat that travels through your blood and hardens your arteries. If you want the benefits of fruit, you have to eat the whole fruit. Chew the apple, chew the orange, The natural fiber creates a web in your stomach that slows down sugar absorption. This protects your liver and your heart from insulin spikes. This point is vital, but nothing we have discussed compares to the number one killer. We have arrived at number one, the food that causes the most damage to the hearts of people over 60. And it is precisely the food that many people are told to eat every day. Commercial whole grain bread from the supermarket and boxed cereals, including flavored instant oatmeal. Don Arturo, a 67-year-old patient, followed the rules to the letter. He was pre-diabetic and had arterial stiffness. He had 2 slices of supposedly whole grain toast and a bowl of instant oatmeal for breakfast. He believed the fiber was cleaning his arteries, but his heart was growing weaker. He replaced the commercial bread and oatmeal with whole eggs and avocado. His fasting glucose dropped from 115 to 90, and his heart recovered strength and endurance. Imagine swallowing handfuls of fine sand and it traveling through your veins. That sand scrapes and cuts the smooth lining of your blood vessels. That is what the glucose and insulin spikes from these ultra-processed carbohydrates do. Even if the bag says multigrain, modern wheat has been ground into a fine powder, stripped of all its nutrients. When you eat this supermarket bread, your body converts it into sugar almost instantly. A massive study from the University of Paris, the Nutrinet Santé project with more than 100,000 participants, revealed the truth. High consumption of ultra-processed foods, where these breads and cereals dominate, is linked to a significantly higher risk of cardiovascular disease. It does not matter what color the bread is, your body responds as if you were eating spoonfuls of white sugar. Your pancreas has to release enormous amounts of insulin to manage that glucose load. And chronically high insulin is one of the greatest drivers of arterial inflammation. But the damage goes far beyond a simple blood sugar spike. This is where science explains the true deterioration of your heart. When high levels of glucose circulate in your blood, a process called glycation occurs. Sugar binds to the proteins in your blood vessels and forms destructive molecules. In medicine, we call them AGEs, which stands for Advanced Glycation End Products. Researchers at Tufts University have demonstrated how these AGEs directly attack the collagen and elastin in your arteries. They cause your blood vessels to lose their natural flexibility. Instead of being elastic tubes that expand with each heartbeat, they become rigid pipes. Your heart has to work twice as hard just to push blood through this hardened system. This chronically raises your blood pressure and wears down the heart muscle year after year. And let's not forget the instant oatmeal packets. They are sold to you as the solution for lowering cholesterol. But those packets are pulverized and loaded with added sugars, artificial flavors, and preservatives. They produce an insulin response that inflames your endothelium for hours after breakfast. You are creating the perfect environment for cholesterol to oxidize and form plaques in your arteries. The problem is not oats themselves, but the industrial processing that destroys their cellular matrix. So, what is the protocol to reverse this and protect your heart? First, eliminate commercial sliced bread from your pantry completely. If you are going to eat bread, look for real sourdough, slowly fermented. It must be made only with water, flour, salt, and thyme. Natural fermentation breaks down the carbohydrates and reduces the glycemic impact on your blood. Second, if you enjoy oats, stay far away from the instant kind. Buy steel-cut oats or traditional thick rolled oats. These varieties retain their structure and take much longer to digest. And never eat them alone. Always pair them with healthy fats and protein like walnuts, chia seeds, or a couple of whole eggs on the side. This flattens the glucose curve, protects your endothelium, and gives your heart the stable fuel it needs to beat strongly for decades. We have uncovered the truth about 5 silent poisons. Canned soups burst your pipes with hidden sodium. Low-fat cold cuts poison your muscle with chemicals. Seed oils oxidize your cells from the inside. Commercial juices flood your liver with fructose. And commercial whole grain bread hardens your arteries with sugar spikes and glycation. You have absolute power over what you put in your mouth. At 60, your body is wise, but it needs the right tools to repair itself. Do not settle for what the box says. Demand real single ingredient foods. Your heart has beaten millions of times for you. It is time you defended it. I want you to go to the comments right now. Write how many of these foods you eat daily. I eat 2 of 5 or 3 of 5. Share this with someone who needs to protect their heart and learn this information today. Always remember to consult your doctor to adjust your nutrition plan to your specific needs. In the next video, I will reveal the exact vitamin that dissolves plaque from your arteries and that you are probably missing. You cannot afford to miss it. I am Dr. Cesar Villarreal. Take care of your heart. Take care of your life.